Okay, we ended up having a good day today. We ended up hitting. Oh, this camera's a little crooked. Hold on, let me fix it. We ended up hitting a trade on our PA account and on our FTMO account because again, I recently activated an FTMO account also because my dumbass blew it. It was an eval account when I went on tilt last week. We already know I made a video about that. But again, trading much better. Again, we still have 20 PA accounts, and we ended up making a good amount of money on these accounts, and they're pretty close to the trailing threshold, which is good also. But again, I want to go over today's trade that we ended up taking. Pretty simple trade. Actually, it was pretty good price action today. And again, we'll just go over it real quick. Hopefully, you learned something from this, and we'll keep moving from there. So again, if you guys go back, I'm going to post the live session first. I'm going to post a trade recap later. I'll post it around 5:30 Eastern time. But coming into the day today, I was a little bit more on the fences of where I wanted price to go. As we can see, we were trading in a 4-hour bearish fair value gap on ES, but we inversed that 4-hour bearish fair value gap on NASDAQ over here, right? Created a 4-hour bullish fair value gap during like London session. Also did over here on ES, okay? So I wanted to see coming into market open if we were going to respect that 4-hour bullish fair value gap and continue higher, or if we were going to disrespect it, continue lower. So we can see off of market open, we'll also put the replay tool on because I took this trade on ES. I want to focus more on the trade I took on ES. I took this trade on NASDAQ on my FTMO accounts. Didn't take it on my PA accounts because I just didn't like the overall risk to reward. Again, the risk of what I would have entered with micros. So we can see off market open, right? We came down, we manipulated lower. We'll go back on the replay tool over here. Market opens, we manipulate lower, we come down, we target down previous day low, right? We took out previous day low, we had an hourly low down here. I scaled down to the 1-minute time frame right away off of this, and I wanted to take this trade on NASDAQ. But we could see we got a SMT off of the low, formed a 5-minute SMT off previous day low, which is a strong draw on liquidity. We end up breaking structure to the upside, inverse fair value gap. I wanted to take the entry here, but this candle closure was just too much for me, okay? For me to be comfortable with my stop loss, it would have been an 80-point stop, targeting a 162-point trade. Still would have been around a 1 to 2 risk to reward. But again, I just think the risk to reward there was 80 points stop loss. Too much for me, okay? I wanted to see price retrace into this 1-minute bullish for value gap first, get a bullish reaction off it, and then continue higher, and I would have considered entering the trade, putting my stop loss by the most recent low. But again, didn't happen. So I waited patiently. Overall, I'm bullish now. We broke structure on the 5-minute time frame. We broke structure on the 15-minute time frame. We inverse 15-minute fair value gap. I'm looking to target New York high, previous day high, something like that, right? We already swept out a 4-hour high that we had over here during pre-market, which I wasn't worried about. So I wanted to see price continue up. But ES didn't take out that 4-hour high, right? So we ended up taking out that 4-hour high. So what did I do? I was waiting for price. We ended up forming a new high here, right? We had a 15-minute high, and we had a relative equal highs over here on NASDAQ, as we see. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Yes, we can see right here. So look, this 15-minute high didn't take out this 15-minute high, right? This 15-minute high over here. So we had relative equal highs in the 15-minute time frame. I thought we could overall target those, right? So what did I look for? I was on the 5-minute time frame still. I wanted to see my 5-minute retrace. We end up getting my 5-minute retrace, right? What is a 5-minute retrace? A 5-minute bearish candle closure when we're in an uptrend, right? So we could see we form a 5-minute bullish fair value gap here. We come over here on on NASDAQ, over here on the left. We form a 5-minute bullish fair value gap, right? I was waiting for price to continue down, trade into that, and show buying pressure out of it, right? What did I also do? I marked out 5-minute equilibrium from this most recent low, this most recent high, 50% level right here. This is that line. We could see price came down and perfectly reacted off of that level, right? So coming into the conclusion here of, you're going to say, but there's a 5-minute bearish fair value gap above. What I saw, I was looking at the 15-minute time frame. We formed a 15-minute fair value gap, correct? Higher time frame holds higher power, in my opinion. We're overall bullish. Higher time frame's bullish. I think that 5-minute fair value gap is going to get inverse because we're respecting a 15-minute fair value gap, right? As we could see here. I ended up marking that out instead of this 5-minute. So what do we have? We have 5-minute confirmation, a 5-minute equilibrium. We have a 15-minute fair value gap getting respected, right? I scale down to the 1-minute time frame. I want to wait for 1-minute confirmation, correct? So let's get onto the 1-minute time frame on both indexes, right? So I'm waiting patiently. I'm waiting patiently to see an entry. Sorry about that. And we're on the 1-minute time frame. We're on the 1-minute time frame. We're waiting. Boom. We get a break of structure to the upside. We inverse this with 1 minute bearish fair value gap. We broke structure here on ES, right, at 10:06. But 10:06 over here, as we could see, NASDAQ didn't break structure to the upside. So I still waited for an entry. What did I wait for? I waited for NASDAQ to come up, break structure to the upside. That was my entry on my FTMO accounts. And when we did that, I was over here on ES waiting. We ended up breaking structure on the 1 minute time frame on NASDAQ. I said, cool, I'm going to enter my trade, right? So I entered my trade when NASDAQ broke structure to the upside, which is around 10:09, right? 10:09. This was my entry. We had a 1 minute bullish fair value gap below. I put my stop loss at the most recent low, which is right here, correct? First take profit was going to target this break even level, this 15-minute high. And then second take profit was for around a 1 to 2 risk to reward, okay? So as we can see, this is my entry. Price ends up coming down, right? Shit my pants a little bit. But again, this should be a protected low, correct? We wait for price to continue up. We end up inversing this 1 minute bearish fair value gap, which made me really comfortable to take this trade. We inverse it. We form a 1 minute bullish fair value gap. I want to see price respect that before I move my stop loss. Boom, we get a good reaction off of it. I move my stop loss up to this most recent low. Should be a protected low, correct? What do? I let the trade overall run. My first take profit I took here manually, putting my stop loss to break even. And then I let the trade run to a full 1 to 2 risk to reward based off of this low right here where we had the risk, right? 1 to 2.3 risk to reward. I looked at my rule system. I want to target 1 to 2 risk to rewards. As we could see, ES had so much room to take out these New York session highs. Again, I wanted to target those. NASDAQ, I knew was probably going to hit those because, again, we were way closer, but ES is way farther. If we fast forward to, if we cancel this, look, we'll leave. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let's leave this. We still haven't even hit those New York session highs yet, right? NASDAQ did, but ES didn't. There is so much more of a gap compared to NASDAQ. If I entered the trade on NASDAQ on my PA accounts, I would have been fine with it. But I took my profit over here at the relative equal highs on my FTMO accounts, making around $800 on that account, which was perfectly fine for me. Okay, targeted 1 to 1.6. I was fine with that. I didn't hold all the way to here, which I probably should have, but again, I was more focused on my PA accounts, exiting here for 1 to 2.3 risk to reward. So again, pretty solid trade. Hopefully you learned something from this. Today, what I would take away is patience, because we did miss that first entry, but we marked it out. You can see it in the live session. But again, I wasn't comfortable with the risk, all right? So we waited patiently. We waited for a retrace. We waited for confirmation that we're going to continue to the upside. We ended up getting that. Our opportunity presented itself. We took it. We trusted it. We took it with a good amount of risk. Again, I could have risked a little bit more, but I was comfortable with the risk I took. I think I risked around $145 to $150 per account to make $232 per account. And again, I'll show that here. As always, right? Again, and I'm trading my PA accounts in groups of 5. It just makes me trade much better. And this group of 5 is pretty close to the trailing drawdown being stopped. And again, my goal is to grow this account to 55,000, but it's around 52,000 right now, which is pretty good. And then we got to grow those other new ones that we activated. We have 10 other ones that are at 50,000 on the dot. So those are going to take some time to grow, but again, we'll grow, right? But regardless, I think today was a pretty solid trading day. I think we traded well. We held the trade well. I'll get that live trading session posted up. The Discord is private right now. I'm not going to open it up for a little bit. I just like doing my own thing and trading with the people that I like trading with. And again, I just want to focus on growth because I still have a lot to do and a lot to accomplish. And again, I'm just going to show the full transparency of my journey and keep moving forward and doing the right things. And I truly believe over time we'll get there. But again, overall, solid month. 10.4K month as of now. So we'll see. All right. Peace out.